Jourdan, the technician.
Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, all that type of good stuff. It feels so good to be back. Welcome to Social Complex. How y'all niggas doing today, man?
I'm all right.
First of all,
y'all good? Oh, you might
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing?
Thank you.
Child, please. Look.
Child, please, nothing.
The day I ever hear you say, "What's good, nigga?"
I don't speak like that.
You don't?
And you know I don't speak like that.
Never?
I have to be extremely upset if I use that term.
But you do say it, though.
No.
So it does come out your mouth.
No.
When you're extremely upset.
I don't let people get me that angry.
I actually never heard her say it, to be honest.
I've heard her say it. That's why
I will say, Negro, please.
Man, look, man, let's cut to the check, man. Look, how y'all doing today, niggas?
So she won that argument.
No.
She did. Thank you.
She would never win,
She
man.
didn't say no.
No, she has said that word.
I'm not saying I've never said it, but you're not gonna sit there and be like, "What's up, my nigga?" Like, I'm looking at you like you're not talking to me. We just had this conversation about my Lyft ride last night, did we not?
We did, but it was with some
Hispanic lady.
Hispanic ladies.
Yeah, and she was talking about her white boyfriend, and she's
White
like,
boyfriend.
"Let me tell you about this." First of all,
But I
ma'am,
told you, y'all make her feel it. Well,
Don't
and when I
say
say
y'all.
y'all, I'm talking about us as a collective whole. We make her feel
Black culture.
or a certain way. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Not
I
you.
have a Hispanic friend that dates nothing but black men, and she uses the term, and I told her don't use it around me.
But she uses it,
They
though.
allow you to talk
But
like
why
that
does she
around
use
them,
it?
because someone else has allowed her to do it, but I do not.
But how many times has she used it with you, though?
She doesn't use it with me because I told her don't do it.
Not anymore.
After the first time, I was like, yeah, no, that's not how we speak to each other.
Oh, okay.
If they allow you to talk to them like that, then that's fine.
We let Fat Joe use it.
I don't.
You let Fat Joe use it. You probably have a Fat Joe song in your car. You jammed it
I
before.
don't. Fat Joe is what?
Puerto Rican?
I know what he is.
Oh.
When like Fat Joe lean back, was that even Fat Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. What year was that?
05, right?
Okay, so irrelevant.
I don't know who was that old.
And
Oh,
It was 05.
Yeah.
Yeah, 05, man. But no, man.
Ain't nobody checking for Fat Joe besides Remy Mom.
Damn.
We're good.
But no, man, it feels good to be back, man. Y'all took over last week. Good shit, man. Good shit.
Thank you.
And shout outs to Miss Cool, aka what you call her, the shower cap girl,
Shower cap queen.
shower cap queen. You know, Adriana from the Recovering Party Girls.
Yeah.
They have a live show coming up shortly, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, we get to show love to them and y'all come out there and help support them. Those are some ladies in their midlife crisis going on through some.
First of all, not in their midlife. They're just living life.
I think they're young.
Nah, not younger. But if you actually listen to some of like their episodes, they go through it hard.
Most black women do.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I think Ebony had the one episode where she was talking about, I think she encountered her having something because she had sex for like the very first time.
Yeah, she got an STD.
Yeah, she got an STD on her very first time having sex.
That's not the universe telling you what you should not be doing.
Midlife crisis, yo. You know what I'm saying?
That means she needs a condom.
Have you? Oh wait, y'all first time y'all all strapped up, right? Like the very first time.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Jay.
It's none of your business.
Damn. What?
We'll just leave that in there.
Damn. Are you serious?
It's none of your business.
We learned something new on Social Complex today.
Well,
You learned shit.
she didn't say yes or no.
Thank you. See how you
But-
assume stuff?
Black Twitter will assume.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and assume. That's what's up, y'all. I learned something new about my homie today. That's what's up, man. But once again, man, shout outs to me. Found out I'm having a girl.
No, you cannot shout yourself
Why?
out. You have to stop doing it.
Why? What page?
Hold on.
What Rulebox is that?
First of all, you didn't make the baby on your own.
Okay.
You're not carrying the baby.
Okay.
So you can't say shout outs to
Shout
me.
outs to me, man. I'm having a baby girl.
No, you and your lady.
This
are
is
having a
very
baby girl.
So
precious.
you're actually not having the child.
I'm having a baby girl. This is my child.
You
Her name is Peabody.
You added a special ingredient. The oven is not right. The oven's
Oh
not
man.
here.
But no, she the oven will be here next week. So
Yay.
I'm super happy, man. You know how you ever get like a new car or the very first car that you purchase, and yes, everybody drives, but you never really notice your car until you get it, and it seems like everybody that's driving has your car. Am I had that feeling before?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
No, so like, no, like you know, like you get a car.
Like, are you seeing like pregnant people everywhere?
No, but I'm seeing like, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm seeing like, you know, little girls everywhere. I'm seeing.
Okay.
You're paying attention.
Yeah, so it's like
instead of just walking, you and just whatever.
Yeah, walking. It's like okay,
now you're noticing people with their kids.
Kids, but all these kids are girls. They're not, you know what I'm saying? You know, boys. Like I had a stranger. One of my customers, they came up to me. And they had like a daughter, and her daughter reached out for my keys. My keys is, you know, hooked to my, like a pants pocket. The belt loop. I automatically became like, I'm like, yo, it's too close.
Really?
Move away from me.
You're gonna be afraid of children now?
Move away from me. No, but you know, it's not my child, and your child shouldn't be reaching out to me.
Kids don't
that close.
No, but kids are very aware. So if they're comfortable enough to come up to you, then that means your energy is okay. Like you know how babies, like some babies just won't go to certain people, or some kids just won't go to certain people. They're like, I don't want to say they're like dogs, but they can feel your energy.
Okay.
So if a kid is walking up to you, that means
I'm a good human being.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Around like adults, but kids,
babies definitely sense energy.
Most definitely, man. Yeah. But so what's up with y'all? How y'all been?
Been alright. Been good. Y'all know, but I tell people, my grandmother just passed away last Friday. Thank you. So, and then we had the funeral just this past Thursday, and then actually Friday was the burial. So we put her on the ground Friday. So, it's kind of working, my emotions through that, trying to be strong for my dad especially, and for my family and stuff. But it's part of life. She lived a long life. She was 91.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Lived a long good life. Yeah, definitely. So and we knew it was coming. So we're pushing through it. We're strong families. So.
I mean, that's one good thing about black people. I can honestly say, regardless if they say, but black don't crack, whether you're living or you're dead. Even when I've like noticed black folks, you don't have to bury them right away. You can wait almost like a week or two, I think, because they like preserve it. But if you're white or something, they have to bury you as soon as possible, yeah.
I don't think that's because we just don't change colors that quickly. But if you freeze the body,
they compare Celine Dion to.
Celine Dion's not dead.
No, I'm just saying. No. No, I'm not endorsing for Celine Dion to die. What I'm trying to say, they compared Celine Dion, I think she's 61, and they compared her to the other girl who played in Love and Basketball, Shania Lathan, right?
Yeah.
I think she's like, 54. She's up there.
She got old.
Yeah. Shania Lathan's old, bro. She's in like her 50s now. But my whole thing is they compare, or I think she's close to it, but they compared the two, Celine Dion and her. Black don't crack, man. Just don't. We just have that power.
It's because we are the original people.
Damn, I think we just found a good, title. We are the original people. Damn. Kill him.
She's 47.
She's 47?
47 and 5.
47 and 5?
Good Lord. 47 and 5.
Would you talk to her?
If I was single, absolutely. Yeah.
I would probably talk to her, yo. Like, who's that one person that I can say where age doesn't matter, like you'll still get it. So you said who? That's your pick?
If we're just talking about going as far as age?
Yeah, going out for her age. Who's your pick? You pick her?
Yes.
Who's your pick, Jack? God, of course.
Shamar Moore.
Shamar Moore?
Nas.
Well, come on, really?
Yeah, Nas is high.
Nas?
Nas got that mole.
Whether she loves
he got a mole on his face?
Mole, yeah.
He does, yeah. Off his like right cheek, right, or something.
Yeah,
Nas?
Nas.
Why Nas?
Or, what's that James Bond guy? The one that was in Mrs. Doubtfire, though. Pierce Brosnan. Yeah. I know it's weird, but
Pierce Brosnan.
I had a dream about him when I was young.
Play James Bond.
Yeah.
Never forget that dream. It was super weird.
Why Pierce Brosnan?
I don't know. He's just high.
Like how?
Maybe it's the hair. I don't
Is
know.
it like his body type, the way he talks?
No, I think it's probably how he
He
carries
dresses.
himself.
That gentleman.
Yeah.
He's no homo, but
Yeah.
I kind of because I know who he is. That's why I was like, yeah, no homo. I knew what you're saying.
Okay, cool. Okay. I was expecting, wow, man. Okay.
You know Bridget Kelly,
No, it was just that. Oh yeah, wait, no.
the singer.
No.
The singer. Okay, never mind.
I thought you meant like Joy Bryant or something like that.
No. Bridget. Yeah,
Who?
She's a singer.
Let me see. Look her.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would probably have to go with what's the girl's name, y'all? What's the girl's name that Bridget? Was it?
Like she's like now she's like in her 30s, but I was like, because I see her a lot. Like she does like guest spots on like the Steve Harvey show. She's like she's an R&B singer, but I was like, yo, I was sitting at my desk one day. I was like, yo, if I was single,
Nah.
I would shoot my shot.
I would shoot my shot at old girl from whatchamacallit. Old girl from Craig's boyfriend off of Friday, yeah.
Craig.
Nia Long?
I'm sorry, Craig's like a girlfriend.
I was like, you over here
Friday.
giving me side eye. You said Craig.
No.
Nia Long?
Nah, not Neil Long. In the beginning. You ain't gotta lie, Craig.
Oh, I don't know her name.
Yeah. I've always been fascinated by like her lips and like her body shape, y'all. She just has like a nice body. And then old girl from
Nia
Scream.
Long don't age either though.
Old girl from Scream looks better, y'all. Not a Scream, but the black chick, man. She's been in like multiple movies. With fuck, help me out, man. What's the movie I'm trying to look for? Fuck.
Is she not in another movie?
She just was in a movie, yo. She's like a black chick, but she's very shapely. I think she was in like a Kevin Hart movie.
Tiffany Haddish?
No, what's the movie that is the opposite of funny from like Scream? You know how like the Wayne brothers
when they do the parody?
Regina King.
Regina King. Boom. Yes. I fuck the shit out of her, yeah.
All right.
I love that girl.
That was wild.
I've always been like, you know.
All right.
We're oversharing now.
Okay.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta be open to people, you know what I'm saying? I'm the voice that just speaks to the mind of others sometimes. But no, so let's get into it, man. I've been gone. You had some good topics to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I actually, enjoyed maybe the last 38 minutes of it. I almost feel bad for you, man. I felt
What?
like they was on you, B.
I don't care about that.
Bro.
I don't care.
I think at that point,
Bro.
No, I don't. That's why I don't get into those Twitter comments. I don't care.
well, no.
But people, I think a lot of people misunderstood. Mainly women misunderstood what I was saying.
So go ahead. Now that it's 2 men now, go ahead and express yourself.
When I asked, when I said that a man would change for the right woman, I meant change his behavior, his attitude towards her.
Such as?
Like maybe he's gonna stop running the streets as much, right? He's gonna leave all those other women in his phone alone, right?
Okay.
He's gonna start planning a future for that woman. That's what I meant.
Okay.
People were commenting like, nope, don't. People change when they're ready. I meant it. I meant as far as a man in a relationship with a woman. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
First you said maybe, and then you said.
Wait, when did I say maybe?
You just said maybe. You said he maybe
Yeah, you just
change for a woman,
You said-
and then, and I'm gonna harp on you because you harped on me. You just said that because you said you didn't say relationship, but now you just said relationship.
Oh, you did help her, bro. I'm like, I did. I'm like,
No. That was referencing the other point I made about men will put up with crazy to get what they want.
It's all the same.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Listen to me. Like we said on the show last week, in the beginning, a man will put up with anything to get what they want. Basically, meaning we're talking about sex, right? That's what we're talking about.
I'm a low key disagree with you, but I get what you mean. Go ahead.
Most men will in the beginning. I never said if a man's been in a relationship for X amount of years that he's gonna put up with crazy. I didn't say that.
Yeah, but I think it was open ended to whether it's a relationship or not. You're still gonna put up with some shit that you normally wouldn't deal with to do whatever.
In my younger 20s, seeing how they had shit going for me, or I was still finding myself. You know, if I'm here trying to.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't put an age bracket on it. I didn't say relationship. I said.
I get that.
Yeah.
For what the context was from the young man on.
Who is that guy, man?
What guy?
We have a fan of the show. Go ahead.
I think he's on it.
Regardless of me using the term relationship,
mm-hmm.
my point was to sit there and to use someone to get something that you want out of them. I think is a character flaw. I think that's some fucked up shit. Like, if you just want sex from someone, then just say, I just want sex from you. And then if you're going to deal with the crazy shit, then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But the way it came off was, okay, I'm going to do all this stuff to get what I want. And then, you know, I may not be invested here. I may not, you know, want to stay doing whatever it is. So I just didn't understand that verbiage. And I don't understand it. Like, I'm not going to sit there and
I get that. That's my thing is that the mind of most men, a lot of women won't understand, and that's fine.
Vice versa.
Yeah. We can talk about conversations in the barbershop, the gym, at the bar. Mm-hmm. How many times have we heard, well, not you, but mm-hmm. speaking just to the audience listening, men talking to each other, man, that shit crazy, but her head fire. I mean, come on.
I mean, we had the same conversation. Like, somebody has a good dick, but
tripping, but
like someone
we normally say that after we already get the girl already. Now,
that's what I'm saying.
But I'm not gonna go through crazy to get sex, though. I'm not. That pause is because I think I just stopped on. Go ahead. No.
But I'm saying, I can low key co-sign a little bit because, you know, girls have.
But when you say co-sign, that's after you get the penis, though, right? Because most girls
will be like, he ain't shit, but
if he got some good dick and like she feels it, she's gonna go through crazy.
I'm not gonna go through crazy.
But you just said.
I said I'll put up with not crazy. I'll put up with some shit. Like,
because he has some good.
You don't have a car, you gotta look over there, that's fine.
You can replace the word crazy with shit. That's mm-hmm. fine, but it's still the same thing. And then most how many times, like, if you have sex with a girl and you liked it was good, you're not trying to go back for more?
The same girl?
No,
she's
just
crazy?
Don't stress me the fuck out.
Well,
like, sex is supposed to be relaxing.
No,
You're supposed to
not.
Release. So if I'm going to be stressed the fuck out before I can get my release, I'm probably not going to want to do it. It's going to be like, it defeats the purpose for me.
If she's my only option, I mean, well then yeah. But I mean, if you have multiple options, I mean, why go back to that same person? If you're single, of course.
Some people do it.
No. If that's your only option, then yeah. But bro, my whole thing is we live in, and this is for us. We live in Houston, Texas.
Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
And I'll probably say this for people in like Atlanta, even though they have a whole nother ball game going out there. But we live in Houston. There's no way I'm just chasing after one woman at the age I'm at right now, when I know I can find that same fire head, same fire, you know what I'm saying, booty from somebody else easily. No. There's no way. It's impossible. We live in Houston.
Okay.
We go out, like, you know what I'm saying, to like Prospect Park. We go out to like the address. There's too many beautiful black women out here for us to chase after just one woman. It's too many. Now, unless you're already with that person, then that's different. Then I get it, because y'all have something tied down to each other.
And that's a whole nother bucket.
Exactly.
How many times have we heard women on social media in person ever complain about ain't shit niggas, mm-hmm. but they still running back to them, they still with them?
That's because
we don't like the penis at all.
No,
I'm gonna say
but
that.
Some are just young and like dumb. And
I'm gonna put it on like numbers matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, you guys like to preach the whole, if she wants to have sex, she can have sex, she can do whatever. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna want someone that's been run through. So for me,
guys don't know that.
If you take a chick out somewhere and you're on a date,
I
whatever,
and
she's talking to this one, oh hey, and she gives this one, oh that's my brother, and she gives that one a hug, you're not gonna give her a side eye like, damn, how many brothers do you have?
I'm gonna just be honest. So people who don't know, my woman doesn't live here in like Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I have already told her several times, when you come out here, sometimes we may run into certain situations.
But that's the difference between a man and a woman. That's not the same.
No, but
you can have 6 chicks come up to you and give you like a look while you're on a date. Yeah. No one's gonna think anything of it. If I was on a date and 6 dudes came up to me and was like, "Hey, like, oh, you didn't text me back or you didn't hit me back," my date is gonna be like, "Oh, well, shit. Who do I have here?"
It depends on your date, man.
Not at the end of the day. If it's a solid dude, at the end of the day, he's not gonna want his chick to be very familiar with a whole bunch of other dudes in the city.
You're over 29 now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I keep my knees together.
Okay, and guess what? I
have male friends, so I know how y'all think and talk and act. Now, so, like, this is coming from experience. Like, no, it matters.
No, trust me. I'm about to have a daughter now, so I hope.
Oh, okay.
And you are the godmother, so
okay.
I need her to follow your footsteps. Please guide this woman. You know what I'm saying? She has 2 godmothers, Sam as well. But for you, please guide her. My whole thing is, for me, at the age I'm at now, if I'm fucking with a chick and I'm 25, 24, or in that college realm, you went to TSU, you know how the game goes. So one chick that you probably trying to get to, probably 3, 4 guys probably done knocked her down already.
But that's
in that
college.
age group.
That's college though.
Exactly. So my whole thing is, when I get to 30 years old, she might have that terror. I mean, she probably fucked 10, 15 dudes.
But you don't want to know it.
No. But I'm already expecting for me to know that, okay, she's probably fucked X amount of dudes. I don't care. And if I find out about it, okay. Now, if she's still talking to them on the side, that's different. But she's already fucked them and it's done with, that's cool. You know what I mean? I fucked. And I'm still who are afraid. Exactly. Exactly. And I'm still like afraid to bring my person around these other places.
Because you're not handling your shit right.
I'm always handling my
shit. If you have closure conversations, you won't have that shit. You won't have those issues. If I've ever been in a situation where I've walked in somewhere and there's somebody else that I've dealt with, I don't have them issues.
But it's in Houston. Man, come on. Houston is super big, but it's super small.
I get it, but you have your closure conversations.
Her scenario was, you out with a lady, and she speaks to 5 different dudes that she knows.
I'm gonna ask who they are.
You really want to know?
But also, I know about like body language too. I'm a guy as well. At the end of the day, I'm a guy. So you have to understand body language. Any guy would be dumb if he didn't understand the whole male body language of them walking up to his, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know the whole handshake, I know the whole hug, I know the like communication. Come on, y'all probably had something going on, or if he didn't smash, he's probably a super close guy that probably wants to smash if that woman is now single and vulnerable, or he may just be the good guy where, like for me, I'm the good guy towards other. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And now that we've been talking about this right now, I'm like, gosh, she has 18 years, yeah.
You just got to worry about 13 through 21.
I'm gonna put on some basketball early and some football early.
I don't know about basketball because that can go the other way for you.
I'm gonna put a basketball in her hand.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a basketball in her hand.
You don't be worried about the little boys. You don't be worried about the little girls.
Oh, wow.
If she gets a LeBron in her era, yo, I'm good. I'm good. I can't stand you.
You got to worry about the other way.
Exactly.
You have to understand, like, kids are exposed to so much sex now. Like, it's everywhere. Like, you know, we had to watch, like, Cinemax and it was all squiggly after 11. Like, they have phones. They can type in.
I remember them days, y'all.
Freaking Pornhub and see, what did EJ talk about? Border bangers or whatever it was.
Border
like,
bangers.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
I actually caught an episode the other day.
Border
bangers. It was actually good. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually good.
I'm not engaging.
No.
It was actually, I was washing like my dishes. I put on border bangers.
I don't understand how you sit in your house and watch porn.
What, bro? Washing the dishes, like, seriously?
You washing the dishes. Bro, washing the dishes and you're just there, washing dishes. If you have a shitload of dishes, I'm actually watching either ESPN or if it's football season. On the phone.
Don't y'all think, like, realistically, like, porn's not real life, right? Like, so how? Like,
it is, but it is to a certain extent.
How do you think that it's real life? Like, I don't.
There is a lot of shit that goes on at any major city that we're not really exposed to because we don't see it. But if you ask a friend for that magnitude, like there's secrets out here in Houston.
What do you mean?
What
are you talking about?
I think she was talking about like as far as like what they actually do in the scene on the set.
What they do in the scene.
I'm not talking about porn not being real, but I'm saying like.
The what?
I'm not about to fuck somebody for an hour and be screaming and hollering like that. Like,
well, they're not fucking for an hour.
But I'm saying, well, if you watch
it's cut and it's edited something, man.
I understand that, but for someone that doesn't know better, like, okay, so if it's a teenage boy, right, and he has no experience with sex or whatever, so he pops on a porn or he goes to Pornhub, whatever, and he watches something, he's seeing someone having sex for 45 minutes to an hour.
Is he a virgin?
I'm just saying, like, if you're inexperienced, you know what I mean? So you get with a little girl, well, not a little girl, but whatever, a teenager, and you don't even know R. Kelly, like you're putting yourself in a situation like, how is he going to realize like this is not the reality?
Because in the back of his mind, he's trying to do the movie.
He's trying to do 45 minutes, and he's gonna stick it in, and it's just gonna go everywhere.
Oh, you can't say that because like my first time, I watched porn to know what I was doing. I mean,
but that's my thing. You're watching it to know what you're doing, but it's not realistic.
I mean, as far as like my length, like my first time, it was actually good. Now I got scared because like the condom broke, but as far as that though, it was realistic. But that's for certain people. My whole thing is for people who watch porn. Now, first timers, yes, they're watching porn on how to find the right hole to stick it into. What like a woman may like.
I don't think they stick their face down there and like, let me see. I think they probably
you probably be surprised.
You
learn the right hole in school. That's your first.
But that's school.
See, and that's my problem. I don't want my kids learning shit about sex in school.
You don't learn sex in school. I mean, like you learn about.
Well, maybe not from the teachers, but you probably hear from one of the
friends,
dirty ass children.
Exactly, but you don't learn sex in school. You learn the way of birth. You learn, how babies are, you know what I'm saying? Like, are produced, I guess you can say, as like kids are, but not sex. I mean, porn is a.
Don't say it's an art.
No, it's a regular thing now.
It's entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a regular thing now. Like, I watch it honestly sometimes just to watch it. I mean, yes, it gets me off, but I can be washing dishes and I'm watching. I'm not watching it.
That's a new one for me.
It's.
I need peace and quiet when I watch it. I'm not trying to be busting up suds.
Oh man, y'all wildin', yo. Man, but look, man. On that note, Social Complex will be back.
Into Mogul Squared Media on the UML Podcast Network, where you can catch your favorite podcast on all major streaming platforms: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and many more. You can find a full listing of all our podcasts on our website, Urban Mogul Life, where we create the content and you create the lifestyle.
And welcome back to Social Complex Podcast. It's your boy Marcus. Peabody's in the building. Jourdan as well.
I'm back.
Yep.
Niggas.
For this week's Black Culture segment.
During Black History Month as well. Like, come on.
Oh my God, here she goes, man. Here she goes with the light skin. Privilege. I know I was ready.
Oh my God.
It was a wide open door, man.
Whatever.
Go ahead.
Let me give you a book to read.
I have a lot of books, by the way.
We haven't shouted out Black History Month yet either.
We haven't. Well, actually, I have, but that's my individual on my thing.
Yeah. So for this week's Black Culture segment, I wanted to talk a little bit about the whole Russell Wilson Sierra / Future situation. So for those that don't know, he recently purchased all of Sierra's masters to her music from her record label.
Can you break that down for everybody?
From what I know, is basically when an artist makes music, they don't own it. It's owned by the record label. So basically, whatever money you make as the artist, the record label makes money as well, and obviously they make more. So he purchased all her masters. So whatever money she's going to make from the music going forward, 100% of it goes to her.
Cool.
It was all in effort because she's trying to start her own record label. And so for whatever reason, there were a lot of ladies on Twitter that were tweeting in their disgust with black men because they were calling them corny.
The scorned black woman syndrome. But go ahead.
No, don't say that.
Go ahead.
I got it.
Go ahead.
Let him say what he's got to say, because I got something.
No, go ahead.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
I got it too. Go ahead.
Apparently, there were a lot of comments made that a lot of black men calling Russell Wilson corny. Because Russell Wilson Future has taken shots at him in the past, has said things about their marriage, about the way he is around his children, and a lot of women were just like, a black man shouldn't be calling him corny. He's an example of what a good black father and husband should be.
Which is true.
Things of that nature. I thought it was interesting. I saw a lot of tweets about toxic masculinity being thrown in.
So wait, so were they clowning him for doing that, or were they celebrating him for doing that?
Yeah, it was basically because they were, people like a good beef, right, on social media. It was basically like, he bought his masters. They was like, what's Future gonna do now? I'm like, well, what does that have to do with Future?
Correct.
Russell Wilson, he married Sierra. They're a family. Yes, he's a stepfather to Future's kids.
He's a father.
Well, father, yeah, we can take the step out. You're right.
He's a father.
But that seems to be a topic of conversation among people. Every time Future opens his mouth about Russell Wilson and Sierra, people want Russell Wilson to respond. I'm like, he doesn't need to.
No,
Future's a rapper. Russell Wilson's a football player. He's going to stay in his lane. And he's being a father, yes, to somebody else's kids, but he is being that father figure.
Correct.
And so I saw a lot of black toxic masculinity tweets that women were referencing when they say that, black men calling Russell Wilson corny for whatever reason, it's stupid. They were basically saying that, we as a black culture don't like to see happiness. We don't like to see other people happy.
So it was men bashing him, not so much women.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think men back then.
Yeah. That's sorry. Yeah.
Okay. The way that
women were upset at black men for bashing Russell Wilson.
The way that he positioned it at first, it sounded like he was saying women were mad. Like, why? But no, by all means, ladies, I'm sorry, I love y'all. Okay.
Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this.
Wait. No.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
What was your exact statement? The black scorned woman.
Yeah.
So.
Here we go. Let's get to it. Gloves on.
I apologize to my beautiful black women for misspeaking and saying that you black scorned women were upset. That's what I would like to hear. Because ouch.
But I have a from where he was going with that. No, for what I assume he was going with that. Because I have the women that I'm around sometimes, and I'm not around them all the time because I do take myself out of that equation. And for people who have heard this, side note, I'm not hanging around with y'all, not because I don't love y'all. I'm not hanging around with y'all because y'all are very, very negative. So if you do listen to this podcast, the 5 individuals, y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all, but I can't hang around y'all anymore though. Now what I mean by that, for the scorned women that I was mentioning, I was talking in terms of when they see somebody do good, they get upset about it. But then when it happens to them, they find bits and pieces to say, okay, he's not good because of this, but he's doing everything that you want for him. But because he's not a particular type or height, or he doesn't have that job, you get upset. But he's providing for you. He's doing everything that you see on TV or that you see Russell doing. But because he's not that particular...
but that has nothing to do with that man.
I'm not going to go full into it because...
I know, but that sounds like that's and I was about to say this about Future, that sounds like it's a broken person. Because if you have someone that...
Broken is... But like broken is kind of worse, right?
Broken? Yeah. Like I think Future's broken. I think Future is salty that Sierra
is happy.
Has moved far beyond anything that he could have ever done for her.
I think somebody tweeted like he's mad because Sierra figured out her worth.
Yeah.
So I think that's
because he's got to be out here dropping, shooting up the club, all these random baby mamas of he's got a girlfriend.
Shout out to Future's new.
I think he's got 6 kids.
Yeah.
By maybe 3 or 4.
A whole lot of different women, and so it's just like you're lost. You're searching for something, and you're upset that you could not control this woman, and she found someone that knew her worth and is praising her and appreciating her the way that she should be. And I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not a racist person, but I am gonna say that I am super excited that he married a black woman after his first divorce, because he was originally married to a white woman.
Yeah, she
cheated on him with his teammate.
Oh no, we all know about Russell. When he got drafted, he was on the couch with the white woman.
That's his wife, his ex-wife.
Yeah,
for Wisconsin.
Yeah, so that was his ex-wife, and then he was like, "Nope, let me go back to my beautiful black queen."
Oh, but that's on him though. I mean, no, that's
I think it piggybacks off of what we talked about last week about what's within your vicinity, because they went to high school together. So if that's what he was comfortable with, then that's what makes sense.
And it was sad too that
I thought he met her at Wisconsin.
High school or college?
I think he met her at Wisconsin.
He went to college.
So let me read this tweet, and I want to get both of y'all's opinion that somebody tweeted out. Russell Wilson is putting fear in you niggas' hearts because you're used to looking up to a man like Future.
Yep.
Treating women like Future. The reason you talk shit about Russell every time he crosses social media. It threatens toxic masculinity.
What did he say? Most men? Or like
advocates happiness within a married family.
That sounds right.
I don't agree with it.
Yeah, it's holding people accountable.
But he said most men? Or like all men? Or just men in general?
He said, Russell Wilson is putting fear in you niggas' hearts because you used to looking up to a man like Future.
No, but I'm thinking, well, first of all, a normal man...
I agree with it.
A normal man is not going to refer to himself as a nigga. That's what I initially said earlier. However, if you can agree with what Future is saying, and if you think that what he's doing to Russell Wilson and Sierra is cool, then that is a reflection on you. Like, in my opinion, that comment shouldn't bother you because you're a good dude. You're going to take care of your business and you're going to take care of your daughter and your family. Same thing with Marcus. So it's like, I think it affects those people that have that portion of themselves that's missing. That they know they're not taking care of their kids. They know they're not being supportive of the mother of their children. And they're just like, oh yeah, what Future did was dope. He needs to, keeping that fuel for the battle going, and it's not necessary. Like, I commend Russell Wilson for not even paying attention to it. It's like, it's below me. Like, I'm not going to go back and forth with you.
That's not Russell's style, though. I mean, Russell, and
I know
that you don't follow football.
Mm-hmm.
He's been ridiculed by his teammates. Kind of similar to that, not that same stuff, but because and I hate to say it because he's not black enough, but pretty much that's what it all boils down to. But I'm just saying, but like Russell, I mean, and now I'm gonna put that into the equation as well as football, and this is only from where we're getting, from what I've heard from Richard Sherman and from what's the guy? Not Doug Baldwin, Percy Harvin. He plays both roles, you know what I'm saying? But also he was on like an interview like the other day, and he switched it up, and people were like commending him on like not ESPN but Jalen and like Jacoby.
Yeah,
he knows how to flip the switch, which is good for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good for TV. So he'll act the part when he's on a big major brand TV company, but behind closed doors, he's talking like he's at like a
kickback.
Yeah, kickback. So
I think that's a lot of entertainment.
That's a lot of people, but I think for him it's because of what he's had in his past.
I'll just say this: Russell Wilson is an African American starting NFL quarterback. He's a husband. He's a father. Multi-millionaire. Probably doing a lot of good things with his money. If that's corny, I'll be corny any day of the week. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's only corny for
I'll be corny every day.
From like last week, it's corny because of what we see or what we're accustomed to in our neighborhoods.
Daddy's not being there and not necessarily taking care of somebody
most young black boys. We don't. Depending on where we were raised at, that's the definition of corny. Yeah? I mean, as we get older, and we go to high school, we go to college, and we break away from that, area of our, life, then we find out, okay, this is what's cool, you know what I'm saying? But like when you're young, that's corny. So I get it when kids say that because I was a kid myself. So I'm never going to forget where I came from. You know what I'm saying?
But this was also grown men apparently saying he was corny.
But also, who does Future capture though? He captures those young people.
That's true.
He captures those young people.
That's all those. Everyone's listening to hip hop. That's what.
He captures the young people.
The fathers that are not in the community.
Exactly.
That's what they're listening
He's
to.
their father, yo. So he captures. So that's cool to sell certain things, or it's cool to be a rapper and have women, by your side or pour, you know what I'm saying, champagne on them. Shit, Jay-Z was doing it on fucking Big Pimpin'. And we thought that shit was cool. He wouldn't do it no more, but he's evolved.
And also I think a lot of people won't understand the dynamics of when a man takes on the role of being with a woman who has children. That's something that not a lot of people are ever going to have.
It's what you want to believe on how you perceive things. How you perceive things.
No, but that's a role that you're not. There's no training. There's no class for that role.
There is.
And especially if you're
There's
going into a situation where you have to be a stepfather to the children of somebody that's famous like Future.
Every role's gonna be
so
different, bro.
But what I'm saying is that's another reason why I commend Russell Wilson, because all the shots that Future's taken, all the things he said, Russell's just letting it roll off his back. He's taking it in stride. He's still handling his business.
He still is.
That's not an easy thing.
Some people are going to praise him. Some people are going to knock him. So it's going to be a lose-lose situation sometimes.
But how can you knock him? He hasn't done anything wrong.
I'm not knocking.
No, I'm saying just in general, just people.
Because you can't fault them for that. That's how they were raised. Now, until they get older, then they might see things differently. But you can't force somebody to make them see what's right in your eyes. Because what's right for them may be for Future. But that's how they were raised. There's three guys. There's dope dealers who provide for their kids but are never seen, but they're providing, so they have clothes on their back, they have a roof over their head. There's people who work that 9 to 5. They probably got 2 or 3 jobs that make sure their wife is fed, like the kids are fed. And then there's other people who dads just aren't in their lives. But it's how you were raised, how you perceive it. It's what you want to take as a kid early on to know what's right and what's wrong. It just is.
But still, my point is that when you marry a woman who has kids, you are then stepping into the role of father figure as another father figure for those kids. Now, the situation can vary depending on if their real father is there. Maybe he passed away, unfortunately. Maybe he's active in their life. It just depends. But you still are stepping into the role of being. I am the stepfather of this child that belongs to Future, who's a famous rapper, and Sierra, who's an R&B singer. Mm-hmm. And me personally, I feel like the way he's handled that from the moment they got together up until now, you can do nothing but commend that man.
Agree.
Now, like you said, people are gonna have their opinion and say good or bad or whatever, but that role that a man steps into is not something that you can easily prepare for in life, and so he's handled it very, very well.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, look, on that note, man, we will get back to you.
To Mogul Squared Media on the UML Podcast Network, where you can catch your favorite podcast on all major streaming platforms: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, and many more. You can find a full listing of all our podcasts on our website, Urban Mogul Life, where we create the content and you create the lifestyle.
Hey, what's good, my Negroes, my Caucasians, my Puerto Ricans? What's up, man? Welcome to Such Complex. We are back with the hot topics. Let's
So
get
what
it started.
about everybody else? Why can't you say people of Earth? The human race.
Oh, earthy looking ass.
Yes, I am.
Just say welcome back.
That works
Man,
too.
welcome back, niggas. Hey, man. So look, man, we are back to these hot topics. I guess we had a nice, interesting topic that I posted the other day. Let me see if I can read. All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna take credit for this tweet, but Jourdan did kind of help me, finagle some of the words in together. As a man, would you feel comfortable if your woman taking care of the majority financial obligations of the household, especially if that man is in his 30s? And Jay,
You gonna take credit for somebody else?
No.
Because you said somebody told you about it, right?
She told me about it. Yeah, no, I think I posted.
About it.
Yeah, I think I posted the other one, and then that was for me.
Yeah, because some girl replied. That's what.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta talk about this.
Yeah.
I think that if it's my husband, yes.
And now, Jay, I'm gonna challenge you live on the podcast. I want you to be for real with this one. I need you to talk.
Okay.
Okay. Snap my fingers.
But
then I feel like you be holding back sometimes.
I
man.
don't hold back. Like, if it's my husband, yes. Right now, if I was to date someone and I was the person that had to pay for everything, no, I'm not gonna do that because that's letting me know what I'm going to have to look forward to later on.
Okay.
What if it's like 60-40?
No.
Okay.
And I say that because I've been the person that has been in a relationship that has supported her man when he didn't have a job consistently, when he couldn't make his car note, couldn't make his phone bill, couldn't buy groceries, couldn't put gas in his car.
Can we play this game real quick again?
No, we don't need to play this game.
Okay, never mind.
So, and I say that, and I say it from experience. Not to say that I'm not going to be supportive because I always support I always be a good helpmate. But I want someone that's going to be able to adult on his own before he tries to adult with me. Because if you can't do it by yourself, me supporting you in that is, in my opinion, a handicap. Like I won't be. If I'm working and I get sick, and I'm the breadwinner, I'm not going to be able to be comfortable with the fact that he will be able to take care of anything because he hasn't taken care of it when I'm 100%. So, like even with the situation that I'm thinking of, we were looking at moving in together into our own separate apartment, and there was an apartment that he wanted that I thought was outside of our price range. And he was like, well, we can afford it. I'm working here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're working here now. But if I reflect back on the time period that we've been dating, you haven't been working. So it's going to fall on me. So can I afford this apartment? No. So I don't think that we should move here.
I never trust anybody who, when they automatically get money and they say, hey, we can afford something real quick, those are the people that never trust. Never trust anybody who says, hey, I got the money, let's go. You just got the money.
But I don't think people are financially aware or responsible.
But my whole thing is don't never trust somebody who says, hey, no, you just got that money. Let's wait for give about 4 or 5 months. If you can just keep that same money about 4 or 5 months and live comfortable, never live beyond your means. Like, if your bill, you should be able to pay rent and still have, and I'm going to be like, saying, or realistic, depending on how you want to live. You should be able to pay rent, and let's say you should still have about close to $900 to $1,000 or over $1,000 to still splurge for, the regular blue collar people who are making it, who are about to probably still be like in.
Yeah, but we're in a society that people live check to check for the most part.
A lot of people live
like,
check to
But
check.
it's also how they live, though.
No, but if you think about the government shutdown, now granted, I'm a single person with no
Let's
children.
take out the government shutdown.
But
So let's not blame him.
But I'm not talking. Well, I'm saying this. Take into consideration that I'm a single person with no dependents, right? So my money is my money, essentially. Like I pay for a couple things for family members, but that's not a lot.
Get that check next year. Key,
But if you think about a normal sized family, a mom and a dad, 2.5 kids, and
2.5 kids.
That's what the average is, 2.5 kids. And like the median income household for low income families, I think if both people are working, it's like 51,000.
So they both work at like McDonald's.
If you don't have an education and you don't have a job and you have a whole bunch of children, if you haven't been afforded to go to school or find another avenue of working, like a lot of Americans are poor.
Check this out. 78% of full-time workers in America said they live paycheck to paycheck.
But we're talking about the dating aspect right now. We not.
No,
But I'm saying,
this
but we're talking about adults. Like
78% of America lives paycheck to paycheck.
To be honest, I'm gonna blame them. But
you don't know people's circumstances, so you can't just throw out a blanket blame. You don't know everybody's circumstances.
I'm gonna say this in terms of if you know my lifestyle or if you know my family's background, and I always look up to her no matter what. My mom came from nothing. She came from Africa to America with nothing on her back.
Right, and that was your mom's circumstances that she overcame.
No, that's most immigrants who come here. They don't. But you don't have shit.
You can't throw out a statement where you don't have enough of the facts.
And then
we can pull up facts.
But even with immigrants,
some Americans are lazy.
No, but even with immigrants, there are immigrants that are afforded much more opportunities and possibilities than Black Americans when we're here.
It's how you make it, yo. No, that one. I'm sorry. That one's it's completely how you make it, yo.
Okay, so well, listen. If it says 78% of Americans are
it's how you make it, yo.
I understand that, but you can't.
I think it has to do with your geographical. Is it geographical?
Yeah.
Geographical.
Yeah.
Geographical location. Like I wouldn't be able to live in DC, making what I made down here. There's no way. I would be fucking poor. But were we talking to the lady at Gringos the other day, and she said low income was $100,000 in San Francisco. That was considered low income.
It was, yeah.
It's about where you are and what you're doing. So it's not fair. If you can afford to, like if you can't afford to move, like think about people get evicted.
Some people can't afford to move from Africa to America, but they find a way.
And even like there are homeless people in Houston. There are homeless people in Houston who have 2 jobs, but they still don't have a fucking place to live. You have to be able to put a deposit down. You have to be able to do a deposit for electricity. You have to be able to have a way to get to and from work. You have to I'm not saying make excuses for people, but it's not as easy. But for me, as far as someone that I'm dating, I don't have kids yet. So I don't mind helping you through certain things. But if we're just starting off and you can't afford a dinner, like I had a guy asking me, like, hey, I want to take you on a date, but let me know where you want to go, and I'll let you know if that's within my budget, and then we can go.
He actually said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like,
being real.
Why don't you just, I was like, I don't know. No.
I can know.
He could have
I wouldn't do
said, we can go out next Thursday.
You're right.
Because he got paid the following
But
Wednesday.
no, I wouldn't have said that, but now some guys are to the point where, I don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Some guys probably go into the date
Take
being
me
broke.
to a fucking park. It's free.
Hey, and I'm agreeing with that. But sometimes when these guys get on this social media and they look at y'all's IG or Twitter
Never go
or
on
your
somebody's IG.
or your statements, they're assuming, okay, this is where this person wants to go.
So if I say I want to go to Steak 48, I ain't never been to Steak 48.
But if a guy wants to impress you for the first time, like Marcus said earlier, guys go through some dumb stuff to get what they want. He probably wants that. So he's going to take you to Steak 48 knowing he's on a budget.
Thinking that it will impress you.
Exactly.
But see, that's stupid to me, because when I find out
It's
that's
stupid
what
to
you
you, but in that kind
when I find out that's what you do, I'm like, you're a dummy.
But that kind of
It's
proves
stupid
his
to
point.
you, but to men, it makes sense
But
in
that
his
kind of
head
proves
at
his
that
point.
time.
Dumb. Because if I find out, I'm like, that's
And you
stupid.
find out, but that also proves Marcus's point as well. My whole thing is, so let me ask you this then. Are you, when y'all were, if y'all are together or married or whatnot or engaged, is it a 50-50 thing, or is it a, hey, you need to do this and then I can do this?
I think and it's going to sound stupid, but I think it's 100-100. I need you to give me 100% of yourself, and I'm going to give you 100% of myself.
50-50.
I don't have for nothing. I don't have for anything. I want you to try just as hard as I'm trying.
Yeah.
I want you to do more, just like I'm doing more. That's what I would request of you.
Okay.
But as far as like paying the bills for the household?
Yeah, paying bills,
Yeah.
Paying bills,
50-50.
you know what I'm saying, mortgage,
Well, see,
now,
and that's the only stipulation I have as far as a joint account, because I'm gonna have my own account, but we can have a joint
trust
account
me.
for the bills.
Oh, we know.
So like if you need to put money aside, and we'll put this much, then that's fine.
Yeah.
And the bills can come out of that.
See, like for me, I'm 50-50, I guess you can say like 100-100 when it comes to bills, but when it comes to, let's just say she needs new tires, her like oil, or she needs like her car note,
That's
stuff
all
like,
y'all.
huh?
That's all y'all.
Yeah, like me, I don't mind doing that for her because 9 times out of 10 she probably covers me in a different way. When it comes to like the car responsibilities, give me that.
Right, yeah, like it's all subjective to what works for y'all.
Exactly.
Yeah, so in that's
so we might pay
perfectly normal.
50-50 in that household, but when it comes to everything around, I might end up paying more because she shouldn't have to do that when she has a man at home.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but like when you tweeted that, so I have a question for Jourdan. So let's say you make $120,000 a year, and your man, y'all live together, he makes 52, and so if y'all have a mortgage that's $3,000 a month, and if he comes to you and says, "Hey, babe, I'll pay 30% of the rent, you pay 70%," you probably gonna look at him crazy. Like,
I mean,
because you make over more than half of what he does.
Yeah.
Is that an arrangement? If he came to you, is that an arrangement you would be okay
I think we would have that conversation. Like, I think anybody that that's the crazy
The
thing.
woman sets up the expectation. The man's ego is what gets in his way.
I think, well, this is the thing, and this I'm speaking from a space of where I am now. The people that I've engaged with or spoken to or gone on dates with, whatever, the role is very different from what I used to do when I was younger. So at this point, everybody's more mature, and it's just like, why are you pulling out your debit card? That's not for you to do. So I don't know if I would allow myself to be in that position going forward. Not to say you can't love who you love, but I think I'm kind of over the point of trying to help someone get themselves up from their bootstraps at this particular point in time. When it comes to him making less, I think we would have an arrangement as far as like, I mean, the rent can still be split. It can still be $1,500 and $1,500.
Right.
But I mean, whatever he decides to do with the rest of his money, that's on him. I think if I'm dating someone that's making less, most likely the conversation will turn to how can we increase your revenue. So if this is what you're making, what else do you want to do? Because you have to have more than one form of income to be considered wealthy going forward. Like if you're not at least having 2 or 3 different forms of income coming in, then you're not working for anything, in my opinion. So he may have his base job be 52, but what else is he doing that's going to generate income into the household to make it to where it's 62, 72, whatever? Does that make sense?
Have you? And I don't know if you talked about before. Have you ever been on a date where you had to pay
Because he didn't have money?
or whatever his?
Have
you talked to a homegirl? I think that's
where
like an
he
interesting.
didn't have money. It was my birthday, and he was buying up the bar. And he was like, "Babe, get what you want." And he was telling his homies, "Get what you want." And then at the night, he swiped his card, and that bitch said declined. And I was just
wow.
"All right, well, here's my credit card." And then he did one of those numbers like, "Oh, I'm gonna pay you back." And then he ended up buying something that was for both of us. And he was like, "Yeah, this is the payback for your birthday." And I was just like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work." And it sounds stupid because it's about money, but it's like that's what you thought was
overestimated.
Well, that's what you thought was okay to do. And
right.
if I didn't have it, first of all, it was my birthday. But if I didn't have it, then what?
That's just catching early cancer. You know what I'm saying? Habit. I don't
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
So no, I'm good and I'm Gucci. So I mean, I've never been on a date where he couldn't afford it. I've been on a date where someone said that they need to check their account before we order food, and at that point, I was like, all right, this is over. I got my own
For
money.
the fact that he probably told you that, I mean,
I think he was joking, but I think he and I had already gone through enough bad dates that it was like that's probably not how you should have started this one off. But yeah,
Jay, you a damn type of man.
I used to.
Damn.
You see why I'm so picky now? I'm like, no, I'm busy. Thanks. What you doing? I'm shooting. No, I'm not available.
I think it's interesting. I want to know, like, from women, like, how many times have you been asked on a date or where the guy was like, "Let's go Dutch"? So I think that's.
Well, see, and I would always, when I was younger, I would enforce it. I'm like, I'll pay for myself.
Let me ask y'all this: Do y'all hang around people who do that?
That do what?
In terms of where that conversation comes from, do y'all hang around people who follow that guidelines, or like for me, or
like going Dutch?
Do you follow girls who only depend on men?
I know some women that do.
But like, do you hang out with them, or when y'all go out, do you make them come out with you, knowing that
no.
okay, hey, they don't really have money like that?
No, because I don't want to be associated with that. Like, I don't want them to think like, "Oh, I gotta buy you dinner and then I'm gonna get some." Because usually, if it's a woman that's depending on a man like that,
oh yeah,
they're
Them be the
It's
worst
not
friends,
free.
yo. Like
It's not free.
the friends when y'all all go out
Mm-hmm.
and that one person's not eating.
I don't understand that either because
I'm like, yo, go home. Go home.
Why should I go home?
There
She
should be
wanted
no
to
reason
hang
why.
out.
No, there should be no reason why for you to be here. Go home.
I mean,
If she doesn't have money to eat,
Well, he are like she. Why go on a group outing and you're that one person unless you already ate and we know you're ready? Because sometimes I've been in a place where I don't like that food. I'm probably gonna just go to the bar and get drinks or get like an appetizer. We're not gonna order food because that's not the place where I want to go eat it.
I don't know. I went to a dinner one night at Reef, and I think the birthday girl ordered like a shit ton of stuff, like a ridiculous, like didn't even eat anything. And then her best friend's mom was like, "The table's gonna pay for it," and I was like, "The fuck?
Whoa.
The table ain't paying for shit." Yeah, her best friend's mom was like, "It's your birthday. You should have to pay for anything. They need to pay for it." And I was like, first of all, we're at fucking Reef, and this is like we were in college.
Yeah.
It was no
I
discussion.
didn't have fucking Reef money.
Right.
Like, I'm coming for your birthday. I bought an appetizer because that's what I could afford at the time. And so for her to sit there and put the food that this girl wasted on everybody else's bill and be like, it's her birthday, she should have to pay for it. Like, you can't speak for somebody else's pocket. Now, if you think that she shouldn't have to pay for it on her birthday, then mama, please go ahead and cover that bill. But you know, I don't think people think about that when they say and do things like that. But I mean, sometimes people just want to hang out.
She would have been in a whole heap of trouble. I would have left that tab open.
On the birthday, yeah.
On the birthday, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out
I
of here.
had this in this.
Yeah, hey, give me real quick. Boom, boom, I'm out.
But then I think that's also when it comes to like those group dinners and those group outings, you got to be careful.
But we also said that earlier. I think when we had Janelle Ford on the show, I'm that person where
to split it.
Yeah, like me and my friends, when we go out, we'll all probably split some because we all know our like accounts. Or if I'm going with other friends, I'll tell them early, hey, I'm gonna get this, close my tab. As I'm ordering, I'm closing my tab.
Or I'll just pay cash, and you get what you get.
As I order, no, because there's been too many reasons where when that check comes, everybody becomes dumbfounded. Hey, you order so and so, pay for this. So hope it comes hand in hand, man. But before we go, man, what else do y'all want to say real quick?
Man, stay blessed, man.
Stay blessed.
Always stay above bullshit.
Okay.
Love everybody. Love yourself. That's about it for me.
It's plain and simple. All right. What about you?
I want us to have more podcasts of the week. Sorry, next week or the week after next week if we can.
I had one today.
What you got?
Yeah, I did. Go ahead.
I kind of. Oh yeah. I mean,
I fell off. I'm not even gonna lie.
I know.
I fell off. Like I was listening religiously like on Mondays, and then I have no excuse either because I haven't been working.
Really? I just had a couple. It's not so much per episode. It's just what I want y'all to listen to. I have 1, 2. Some of these are kind of mainstream as well. Where you at, girl? All right. So I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. First one is Egos and Opinions. Go ahead and check them out, please. You can find them on pretty much every major podcast platform. Lip Service, of course, with Angela Yee. Still Processing. Everybody knows them, I would hope. And, of course, Dualistic. Yeah. So those are my podcasts.
You got one, Jourdan?
I can't remember the name of it, but I'll have it next week.
All right. So mine is it's a new pod. Well, it's not new, but a friend of mine that I know from Prairie View. They started a podcast. It's called G is for Gentlemen. So
Podcasts are so fucking oversaturated now, man.
It's 3 dudes. One that I know personally, Nate. They went to Prairie View. A good friend of mine.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's a real good podcast.
Is it better than ours?
Called G is for Gentlemen. Huh?
You are
Is it better than ours?
I don't compare podcasts.
You don't?
I don't compare. I don't compete with them. We have a great podcast. They have a great podcast. There's a lot of great.
Safe answer.
I don't know. For sure. I don't compete. I don't compare. I listen for the entertainment and to learn from people. So yeah. G is for Gentlemen podcast.
All right, man. How we get out of here? I'm gonna change it up. How I normally close it.
You gotta say Grandma Peabody.
Oh no. I'm gonna still say, Mama, I love you, and Raina, I love you as well.
Peace.
Hey.